Broadcasting from Millvale Studios, you are listening to Funny Money on the River's Edge Network. I'm your host, Tom Henry, and along with me, as always, is...
Matt Wolfarth. I'm here, alive.
And our...
Not quite as hot.
And our producer, James Kerwin.
James, still sporting a good GQ-type look.
GQ?
Yeah, we have a new computer. Let's welcome the new computer.
Yeah, it's a wonderful addition to the little studio here. You know, we got
like,
two
we don't have room
monitors,
for anything else. We really don't.
We need a bigger desk.
Hey, we have a TV monitor, too. I don't know what's going on there, but this little... It's like the little studio that could. I think I can. Can I topple Clear
It's got
Channel?
a lot going on.
I think I can.
You could have it, like, completely covered in screen soon.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, just replace the walls.
Yeah. Do you... Oh, yeah. That reminds me of, like, there's a TV show. It's called, like, Dark something. And they go into this futuristic scenario, and the guy's living in this like room that's just TVs,
Really?
And they're like blaring at him all the time.
No way. And he's living in the future.
Yeah, and you have to like
Sounds like my son's room.
in order to watch something or to like get points, you have to like watch all this advertising that's like blasted at you.
Oh, and then you can like redeem your points for.
Yeah.
That's kind of an idea I had.
Yeah,
I
you
was
can
like,
use your points for vacation or whatever.
Yes, exactly. That's a great idea, I think. I like it.
like force feeding people.
we
out
should
of it.
run our
channel are
society.
You sure that's a channel, or is that just in your head that's running that channel?
It might be. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about the chicken and the egg. All right.
What came first?
Well, not so much. The chicken came first. But
Do you know that?
no,
Is that a fact?
I just mean that
On this
in
show.
this case,
In this episode.
the chicken company came before the egg company.
Oh, okay.
So that's all I'm
We
saying.
finally have the answer. See, we're a groundbreaking.
Philosophy just got debunked right there.
There is an answer.
Hey, I think that's the first time debunked was ever mentioned on this show.
Oh, it is the first time for
So
everything.
kudos to James. Yeah.
So
Dollar word.
the first stock we're going to talk about is Cow Maine. And Cow Maine is it's Cow Maine Foods. It's a company that I have owned stock in the past, but do not currently own. Also, I want to tell you the sources of this info. I got this not from Wikipedia. Right?
Uh-oh, they're going to be pissed at
It's
Wikipedia.
from the North Carolina State University Department of Poultry Science website. Is the first source.
That's a
Wow.
that's a thing.
That is a thing.
That's an
Not only
obscure-
that,
What
there's a
are you?
lot on there.
No,
There's
they're
like-
not the Gamecocks. Because it's South Carolina State, right?
Is that what? Wait a minute.
South Carolina is the Gamecocks.
Yeah, North Carolina State is the Wolfpack.
The Wolf. No, that's North Carolina State. Did you say North Carolina State?
Yeah,
I thought
North
you said
Carolina
South
State.
Carolina. Yeah, that's the Wolfpack.
That
Yeah.
explains a lot because when we were going down to the beach, we were behind a car in like right outside of Richmond or something, and it just said a big old bumper sticker that just said Cox, and we're like, oh, we got to get a picture of that one. Like,
Yeah,
I had no idea. I'm like, this person does not care at
Go
all.
Cox.
Yeah.
Go Cox.
They're
or go home,
advertising
right? Yeah, like,
their
go Cox.
personality. So, okay, that's one source, and the other source is fundinguniverse.com.
That's your new fave. Moving on.
It is
up.
really good. I found out there's a lot of info about companies in that.
What's their symbol?
Funding, CALM, Cow Maine. All right, now
That's a long symbol.
yeah, well, yeah, 4-letter symbol.
Not
I'm not gonna
football.
can't induce you into
No,
saying something
no,
there.
I'm not.
It's,
I'm not cussing.
Usually on usually NASDAQ stocks have 4 letters,
Oh, really?
but some
Because everybody loses
New York
money.
Stock Exchange ones do.
They're like,
too.
4 letters.
So Cow Maine was founded by a guy named Fred R. Adams Jr.
Fred Adams.
Now let me. This is the sentence I wrote down. Fred R. Adams Jr. was what you call an Eggman. All right. He was born.
Is that like your line in a bar?
Yeah, really. Like,
Hey, Heather, Brittany, I'm what you call an Eggman. Oh, we have eggs. Can you help us?
Oh, I see
Scrambled or
where you're
fried?
going. Okay, born in Macon, Mississippi, Fred eventually attended University of Southern Mississippi. Are they the Cox?
No. I don't even.
All right, graduating in 1954. Fred's first job out of college was with the Ralston Purina Company.
Okay.
Whenever I think of them, I always think of dog food.
yeah, I'll say
Dog
the
food, yeah.
dog chow company.
Yeah, it is that company. But they owned a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they were
They're big.
big conglomerate.
Okay, where he worked there in feed sales. So that is kind of like, yeah, I mean, you're feeding the livestock.
I'll sell you feed, but I'm really an egg man. Don't ever forget that.
And so he worked in Louisiana and Mississippi for 3 years at Purina. In 1957, he started his own poultry and egg business in Jackson, Mississippi.
Finally, I've got to my calling.
Right. So
the eggman cometh.
well, he had, working for Purina, he had exposure. He's selling feed really to chickens. Yeah, I mean, to people who have chickens. So he got a lot of exposure to the farmers and poultry producers. And so, he probably got not a lot of knowledge from them on how to raise.
Right.
What year is this?
This is 1957 that he
all right.
founds his poultry and egg business.
He was probably cruising around in a very nice Chevy that everybody would covet right now.
In 1969, so we're going forward 12 years, he merged his business with an egg company in California. It was small, and one in Maine, hence the origin of Cal Maine Foods. Actually, they had a contest to name the company, and that was the winner.
Really?
That was the best they can come up with.
I would just say like coast
think
to
it's good,
coast
though.
or like transcontinental, maybe. I don't know. This is off the top of my head there.
I would go the Eggman.
It's not like...
I am the walrus. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Well, Cal Maine is like one of those behind-the-scenes names. You don't see it on the shelves.
I never heard of it.
Right? But you will have heard of it. I mean, their main brand is Eggland's Best. You probably heard of that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, but they have others too. So, let's see. I told you about the contest. All right, at the time of the founding of the company, the egg business was really fragmented, meaning like...
God. Stop.
Do we want brown eggs or white eggs? We had a part egg. We had a part egg going on.
This is the pun episode of Funny Money.
All right, they had a ton of small operations.
We like them sunny side only. Sunny side up. Dippy eggs. We're dippy egg people.
Essentially, it was farms. Just all these different farms.
And everybody's
producing eggs.
Stuff.
You go to the market, you sell your eggs.
Were they brown back then, or were they bleached white?
Are they always naturally brown?
Yes.
I don't know, but I mean, we have.
I don't know.
Oh no,
we have like 17 chickens.
You have 17 chickens.
Yeah, at my house in Johnstown, like not even shitting you, 17 chickens, and they lay brown eggs. But we had ducks at one point, and they laid white eggs.
Well, so those would be different eggs. I
know they're different eggs, but the point is, I think it could go either way.
Maybe the white ones are actually duck eggs that we're eating.
No, duck eggs taste different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like sweeter. They're good. It's just
Interesting.
It's a fun fact of the day there.
How would I know that he had 17 chickens? 17. He knew the
I
number.
have a colorful background, all right.
Did you ever see a white egg come out of a chicken?
Not the kind that we have. Maybe like a different breed might have different egg colors, perhaps.
I
mean, how do you get those like fancy Easter eggs? Like you gotta have like a red chicken or something.
You
That's
died.
no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you died the Easter eggs. You should do it.
That's insanity.
My dad wanted me to have a good work ethic.
It's from a
dyed
bloody
our
chicken.
Easter eggs camouflage.
Nice. All right. So, so essentially it's these farmers, and Fred thought, what about, he had this vision for like a unified egg empire, where he, because it's all these little farms. Like, why wouldn't it be better
To just
if
promote
you just
eggs.
and you're just eggs, and the farms sell all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
right? But just eggs, and make it a giant empire.
Yeah, like
All right.
egg.
So,
The
okay,
egg pyre strikes back.
he had this vision, all right, and there were
A coup wouldn't be hard to pull
okay,
off.
so it was really fragmented. You are too much. You're just sitting there thinking of that.
He broke all of our eggs. Our egg empire is gone.
It was a
There's
chicken
no more.
coup.
Now it's just a big breakfast buffet. Eat quickly, everyone.
So, okay, there's another problem with the egg business, other than that it's all these farmers competing. That is that there was a declining appetite for eggs in the U.S. at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that?
Well, let me tell you. Okay, shortly after World War II, egg consumption topped out, and the average American ate 400 eggs per year. All right, that slipped to 321 eggs per year by 1960.
Uh-oh.
And then going forward all the way to 1990, it's down to 200. It was down to 234 eggs per year per American.
Wow.
All right. So
I love that stat, though.
Eggs consumed.
I don't think I'm that close.
In order to make money in that environment with declining egg consumption, what you have to do is reduce cost, right? If you want to have the same margin, you got to reduce cost. Otherwise, there's going to be too many eggs out there. The prices are going to be too low for you to make any money.
Kind of like the oil and gas industry right now.
But if you can make your eggs for cheaper than anyone else, you could start to gradually put them out of business.
So they pay the chickens less.
Or migrant chickens that work for free.
But his idea of the egg empire is like
efficiencies of scale.
Economies of scale.
Yes.
Right. So in that concept basically is if you produce a whole, if you have the ability to produce a lot of something, you're going to have lower fixed costs per unit. So that, in other words, like if the one guy has 5 chickens and they're just laying out a few 100 eggs a year.
Do you want to get in on this?
Yeah, this sounds like a great business opportunity.
Right, approach you and John's time.
Right.
Go ahead.
But that's not and you have to tend to those eggs. You have to go through all the process, and you have to have a chicken coop, and all that. Even though you're only producing a small amount of eggs, so you have to have heat in there.
Yes,
but if you had 1,000 chickens, you could have one big coop, and it be heated, right? And then you would find that the cost per egg would be a lot less.
A lot less. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, did they just bring their chickens in? Say, bring your chickens to our big
luxurious chicken hotel.
Bring your chicken in. No, well, what they would do is, he started out by buying farms.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And then he would centralize the.
Right. But in order to get the money to do that, you had to be good. You had to keep selling eggs for profit. All right. So it was so important to get these economies of scale that it became noticeable that the small operations began to really struggle. And so Cal-Maine, on the other hand, kept growing because then they were able to buy small operations at a low price, right?
Yeah, because they were struggling.
Right. But all they were interested in is the eggs.
We don't want anything else.
Yeah,
they
don't want
the milk. We don't want
cows or horses. All right.
I'm not yanking anything.
So they would go and buy the hens. So
I didn't even know that's who laid the eggs.
Now let's go forward to 1988. So we're talking, this is around the time people were eating 234 eggs per year. So pretty low. It's better than that now, by the way. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but I think it's more like 300.
Does that account for baking needs and stuff like that with eggs, or is that just crack it in a pan and eat it?
That is not okay. Those are shelled eggs.
Okay.
So it could be eggs that goes into a birthday cake.
Right.
But it's shelled eggs. It's not powdered eggs. It's not eggs that are
imitation
egg
eggs.
whites
used in pizza or what some random thing that are mass produced. It's shelled eggs.
Okay.
All right. So by 1988, they had a flock of 6.8 million birds.
Jesus.
All right. And this is from making these little acquisitions. Okay. And then from there, they went on another aggressive expansion. In 1989, they acquired Egg City, which was a big acquisition.
No, that's a great name for an egg company.
Yeah. So that was a competitor. And then in 1990, they acquired Sunny Fresh Foods, which was also just eggs. That's some kind of Sunny Side Up analogy or whatever. So the Sunny Fresh Foods company was almost they had almost as many hens as Cal-Maine themselves. So they essentially doubled the size of their flock when they bought Sunny Fresh Foods. So right. So by then they're up at 14 million birds.
Wow.
All right.
I can't even imagine that many
Do
chickens.
they all,
I know.
do they get private rooms?
No, they don't.
Oh.
No, there's big, giant
Terrible
rooms with
working
tons
conditions.
of.
They just hang out and like, we're all here chicken in the coop.
Well, one of the things though about cow Maine is it's very well managed. I have found, I've invested in this before and looked at it, and you look at the conditions that the birds are in and everything. They haven't been in trouble. They keep their facilities really clean. It's very carefully managed. And I think the birds, as far as I know, are pretty well taken care of. Also, if you think about it, you're going to take better care, maybe just naturally, of the hens that lay the eggs.
Correct.
Rather than the chicken that's going to be dead at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, you're going to take good care of that one.
Yeah.
Don't kill the golden
Don't
goose.
kill. Right. Exactly. Don't kill the hen.
The hen who loves me.
So,
how many eggs does a hen kick? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
No. Why would they dye the eggs? Like, why dye it white? Is that like?
It's more marketable. It's the same reason they dye pistachios.
They are?
So,
You didn't know pistachios are dyed red?
Oh, no. I'm thinking of something else.
well, most pistachios aren't dyed red anymore.
No, I know, because they suck. They got all
Well, they
over
get the
your
stuff on your hands.
Yeah.
But
I went to the dollar store. Don't get pistachios at the dollar store. I got $1 for pistachios. None of the shells had cracks in them. They spelled it Pissed. Pistachios.
answer me honestly though. Does a white egg strike you as more appealing than a brown egg?
That sounds racist.
You got to watch yourself there.
Well, no, it doesn't. But that's the perception. Like
I've had people because like I said, ours are browns. People were like, "Oh, they taste better." I couldn't tell you a difference.
I've never noticed a difference.
What do they change the innards? No. It's
Yeah, I
the
don't
same.
know.
It's
Yeah,
perception.
I've never noticed a difference. But I'm still not 100% sure that they do dye them, bleach them, or whatever. You are?
I don't even need to phone a friend on this one.
All right. I'll take your
But
word
it sounds
for
like a racist play.
It could be. So to raise more money for growth, all right, they had this huge appetite still for the egg empire.
How many birds do you have to have before you consider yourself an egg empire? You have 14 million
right to the
birds.
tune of 14 million, I think. That's
We needed 15.
There's like
Today,
1 million.
Yeah, well, right. Well, an egg empire is the biggest egg producer in the United States, and that's what they have become.
Okay.
All right. So that's pretty awesome. And it's coast to coast, Cal, Maine. And it's, there are a lot of farms throughout that are run by Cal, Maine. I shouldn't say farms. I should say egg production facilities because they're not really farms.
Egg productions.
All right. So
Egg
Very
production.
technical term there.
An EPF. We have
This is
several
a business
EPFs.
lingo.
So
We have several starting up this quarter.
they went public to get more money for growth in 1996 and continued to expand. Okay, all right, here's another source I got this information from, and that's calmainfoods.com.
Seems reliable.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
today,
tell that to the people who own Enron stock.
today, Cal-Maine is the largest producer and marketer of shell eggs in the United States.
Wow. I've never heard of them before today.
In fiscal 2016, which ended on June 30th, they have their year isn't like a calendar year.
They go by the chicken year.
It just ends on yeah.
The chicken calendar.
Right.
Old
But,
school.
well, yeah, it's like a chicken's like 15 years old when they're 1 year old by our standards.
Oh, really? So it's even worse than a dog?
that's
I don't.
pretty
Chicken year?
I don't actually know
How
that.
long does a chicken live?
That's BS.
I'd say it's like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, is that right?
7
Yeah, you have chickens.
Well, usually something eats them, like a dog or a coyote or something.
really?
But no, I think the oldest one we have is
like-
probably like 3.5 or 4 right now. So I mean, they're not.
Do you name them?
No, okay. My sister names them, and apparently she swears to God she can tell which one's which. I just know we have one rooster out of our entire flock of hens, and
And he's happy. He's the happy one.
its name is Henry. I don't know who the hell named it Henry,
nice.
but
That's a good
we got
name.
Henry the rooster, and He's a dick. Like,
He's aggressive.
oh, he's mean. I'm
Get near
very
him.
nice to animals, but like he comes and he chases me around. I'll just kick him. Like I'll
Yeah,
send him
yeah.
flying. Like get out of here.
Well, yeah, he needs an attitude adjustment.
Moody
So-
teenagers.
And
This is bumping up there to be one of the most interesting stories.
so their year ended June 30th.
Yes.
In that year, Cal-Maine sold over 1 billion eggs.
Oh,
All right.
my goodness.
So we're talking a lot of eggs. It was like 1.06 billion. They sell specialty eggs like organic and free range now. And in fact, in the latest quarter, that made up almost 40% of their sales.
Free range did?
No, it was specialty eggs, which includes, a couple different kinds. Free range is one kind. Organic is another kind. Although they could be free range and organic. All right, and they sell under the Eggland's Best label. That's the most common one. But they sell specialty eggs also under Farmhouse.
What are
label.
specialty eggs? They're square?
Just whenever this. Organic
The
or free range.
The eggs that needed to come out with Lamaze. Square eggs.
And they also they have a Land O'Lakes label. It's not, they just license that label. Land O'Lakes, they're not the butter company also, or, whatever else they make.
Okay.
But Land O'Lakes lets them sell under that brand name because Land O'Lakes doesn't actually produce eggs.
Oh, wow. That's good.
So-
that's a good, I think, a symbiotic relationship there.
Yeah.
1.06 billion eggs.
So
Wow.
by far the main brand is Eggland's Best. The PE is 7.1,
Oh, I like.
pretty low. The dividend, 3.82%, pretty
Ooh,
nice.
I like it again.
Oh, but
Like-
actually, you know what? I got to explain the dividend. That's not real.
What did they make up a
Yeah,
number?
no, it's what they do is each quarter they pay out 1/3 of their earnings
What?
as a dividend. So it's a variable dividend. But last quarter,
That's the first time we've ever had that on this show.
so for the year 2016, the dividend was 3.82%. However, last quarter they didn't pay a dividend because they didn't make money.
okay.
They
So-
lost.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. All right, but not yet. All right, so the ROIC is 38%.
Woo!
All right,
Are you kidding me?
P is 7.1, ROIC 38%. Sounds awesome.
Yes.
Keeps getting awesomer. No debt
No debt.
and 915 million in equity. So that's great. Now here's the thing. This is a classic what you call a value trap. Cuz it looks so awesome and you're like, "Well, wait a minute. Why isn't the market recognizing this at all?"
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Bird flu.
You are correct.
No!
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It is because of that. All right. Well, let me tell you what happened. So first of all, what analysts think is going to happen to earnings, they think earnings are going down 78% this year. Okay? Wow. And the reason is because of bird flu. And it's because last year was super exceptional for them because bird flu struck and it killed so many hens. But it was mostly like in Iowa and places to the north of them. And also they have such clean facilities and rigorous testing that they did not get any bird flu. So their hens were laying eggs like crazy while all the other hens were gone. So they dominated the egg market during that period of time. All the competition was sick with the bird flu.
So the other people are going to recover this
In
year?
fact, it's not just that these birds got the flu. Like if you had like a couple with the bird flu in your flock, you often had to kill the whole flock because they were like,
Is that virulent? Does it,
yeah, it's very devastating. It spreads really quickly.
isn't there a shot or a vaccine?
But
There
are vaccines, yeah.
But then
there are things about like it's not organic if you give it the vaccine, right?
Well,
I mean,
I'd rather, we'll just give it to the people that'll eat non-organic. I don't know. I know what you're saying, though. Yes.
but no, there are things that they do to try to prevent the bird flu. But a lot of their
How
competition.
about a little Vicks on their chest?
I don't know about that.
Vicks Vapor Rub.
It's more serious than that, I think.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
All right, so that decline of 78% that they're expecting is because now the competition has their birds back. It doesn't take that long to raise a hen.
The birds are back.
Yeah, and they're back and they're laying eggs like crazy. And so
how much do they lay an egg? They're like, here's an egg, here's an egg. Like they just can make them. Like,
You do like 1 or 2 a day.
what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's usually 1.
How do they make an egg in a day? Like I don't even understand.
It's that stupidly fast life cycle, I guess. I don't know.
really?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a chickenologist.
Is that what it would be called? A chickenologist?
I mean, we could probably consult with the the Department of Poultry Studies. They could probably.
they could write you on that. Yeah, they could definitely do that.
Wow, 1 or 2 a day.
So, okay, so because of this, now the replenishment of the flock in the country, the prices of eggs in the last quarter were down 40% from the quarter of the previous year, when the flock was greatly diminished.
So, if there's a hint of bird flu, then you want to buy egg futures?
Well, if they're
Depends on who has the bird flu.
right. Well, you want to buy egg futures is correct because the price of eggs in general are going to go up.
Based on
But-
fear. It'll go up based on fear, right?
You're right. Also, you want to buy an individual stock of the company that's not affected by the bird flu
Okay.
because it's going to dominate. So that's what happened to them last year. They're very well managed, great balance sheet, and they rocked out during the bird flu time. But now that prices are down, as I said, they lost money in the last quarter. So the analysts expect them to only earn $1.44 per share this year, whereas they earned $6.53 per share last year.
Oh my goodness.
So when you look at the PE, that 7 PE is not really accurate. It's going to be, you got to look at the forward PE. So when you look at the forward PE, you see that's 31.94, almost 32. And then you look at the forward ROIC, which is harder to calculate, but that's going to be around 16 to 17%. So now the company doesn't look so great, and I read the transcript from the last earnings, and the CEO said he's being very honest. He's saying the number of birds in the United States is expected to increase a lot in the second half of calendar 2016. So he expects the prices of eggs to decline further.
Wow.
So why buy a company that's in the midst where the earnings are headed down? That's why I would not buy this, and that's why I consider it a value trap.
That's the
As someone who
first time
doesn't
we've
look
ever-
at the whole story, look at just at the numbers, and they think it's great.
I was all on board. This is the first time we've had a value trap.
Yeah, it is. I love the company. Over the long haul, it'll probably do well, but just don't buy it now.
Darn, I thought we were close to a winner.
All right, so
That was great.
yeah, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back with Pilgrim's Pride.
Pilgrim's Pride.
Hi, I'm Mike Storer, host of the Awesome Cast, which you can hear right here on River's Edge Radio. We're talking tech, getting geeky every week with people from Pittsburgh in the industry. Go check us out, awesomecast.net, or listen to us right here on River's Edge Radio, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. after Funny Money.
Hey, this is Matt Geica, your host of Geik's Got Game, 8 a.m. every Friday here on the River's Edge. I'll take a peek behind the sports media curtain, zoom out for the big picture, and as always, obsess over the details of the sports, teams, and players we love or love to hate. It's Geik's Got Game every Friday at 8 a.m. on the River's Edge.
Hey, this is Mike Sasson. Have you been searching for something to do with your pathetic life? Guess what? This ain't it. But it'll kill about an hour. It's the Mike Sasson Show, starting 10 a.m. on July 19th, going to 11. It's going to be a lot of fun here on the River's Edge, a new kind of radio.
And welcome back.
That was a great break. I needed a little bit of a break.
It was. A little
toasty
it's,
in here.
Yeah, it's still toasty in here.
I feel like an egg.
During the break, though, James figured something out. That was one of the factoids that we were sort of debating earlier in the other segment. You want to go ahead with that?
I forgot already. Yeah, but the brown eggs actually sell for more than the white eggs, and the breed is the breed of the chicken determines the color of the egg.
Right. So they are not bleached.
I thought they were bleached.
Just comes out of the chicken like
That's
that.
what it is.
Well, thanks for that clarification.
Now we know.
So, okay, the next company we're going to talk about is Pilgrim's Pride, okay? And this is a little different than you might think. All right, Pilgrim's Pride was started by a gentleman who was born in 1928 in a small Texas town called Pine.
Pine. Not
Right.
Lone Pine down by Washington, PA.
And this is what surprised me. His name, Lonnie A. Pilgrim. Is
Really?
actually
My
Pilgrim.
neighbor's a pilgrim. You know, we live next to pilgrims.
Really? Their name is Pilgrim?
Yeah,
I
the
never
rest-
even knew that was a
Yeah,
name.
the pilgrims. I'm like, holy smokes, this town's older than I thought.
I assumed it
They have
was
great-
named after the Pilgrims.
They
you
have
know?
great turkey.
So, but Lonnie Pilgrim was known to everyone as Bo Pilgrim. All right.
Bo Pilgrim. That sounds like a show.
How do you
There's
get
a
from
new
Lonnie
sheriff
to
in-
Bo? Yeah.
Well, I'm working on that in my brain right now, but I can't think of anything good. How would you get from Lonnie to Bo? Lonnie, that's like in the yard. You shoot a bow in the yard.
Listen, we're in Texas, man. There's no,
There's no
Lonnies in
rules.
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
There's no
Everyone's
Lonnies
Bo.
in Texas. Billy Bob or Bo.
So, okay, Bo Pilgrim learned how to move product at an early age.
What was he selling?
Well, I'll tell you. When Pilgrim was a boy and wanted a Coke, his father, who ran the general store in Pine, would first make him sell 6 Cokes for a nickel apiece to the men working at the nearby cotton gin. All right, now, I want to tell you that the sources for this info, for Pilgrim's Pride info, also fundinguniverse.com. This time, I did have to use Wikipedia, and a Forbes article by Tony Mack.
Wow.
All right,
Well, you're spreading out your sources.
spreading it out.
It used to be very simple. Wikipedia only.
So this must be a while back if they're selling Coke for a nickel.
Yeah, right. Well, he was born in 1928, and this is like when he's like 6 or
Yeah.
something.
It's the 1930s, right after
Right.
the Depression.
So now, unfortunately, okay, these lessons didn't go on for too long because his father died abruptly from a heart attack when Bo was just 11.
Oh, man.
His family at the time had a net worth of $80. Bo's dad had to borrow to set up the general store, and there was no other income earner in the family, so they just didn't have that much beyond what they were consuming.
Yep.
All right, so
Well, that's sad.
little Bo, 11 years old, had to go out and work several different jobs.
At 11.
Yeah, back then, things were different.
Child labor laws weren't quite what they
They were
are
a little
today.
more laid back.
I can't even get my kid to take out the garbage at 11.
So Bo was working these jobs, and then at age 17, Bo and his brother Aubrey borrowed money from a local dentist, and who was interested in their idea, and they bought a farm supply store in Pittsburgh, Texas.
Oh, that's Pittsburgh without the H.
Everyone just peeked up for a second there.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is the only Pittsburgh with an H. But how do you speak Pittsburghese? By dropping H's.
Well, the Pittsburgh with an H, I think there's they could have spelled it without the H, but that's the Scottish spelling or something.
Because of Carnegie.
Otherwise, it would be German. Yeah, I don't know.
I know there's a Pittsburgh, California that's with a G.
Yeah, not a GH.
Nope.
Not a, ugh. All right, so they also
That
bought.
kind of pissed me off. Go ahead.
They also bought a used cotton gin at the time, and they converted it into a food grinder. All right. Now, Bo and Aubrey ran the store together from 1945 to 1966. And by all accounts, they ran it pretty harmoniously, and they did very well. By 1966, they had expanded into egg hatching and broiler processing. Part of but they had expanded a lot during that time. And part of their success was like they used this tactic. They used marketing tactics, whereas a lot of their competition was just kind of straightforward.
Yeah, like we're open.
They would do fun things, right? Like they would give away a free chick with each bag of feed that they sold.
You're
I bet parents
yeah.
love that. It's like, here's a free puppy with your dog food. It's
Yeah.
illegal. Like,
I know.
damn.
Get a new
I
one
got
each
one
time.
of those one time
And then-
in my yard. They get stuck in the rose bushes
Yeah.
and it died. Like it was.
Oh, really?
It
Well,
scarred me for life.
These are people who know how to raise chickens, so
Yeah.
it's not like you.
No.
So you're giving away a chicken, and they got to feed the chicken, and it grows up, and then they sell more feed, right?
You're right.
All right. So they're expanding the chick population. They're getting popularity. Everyone's like, "Sweet, free chick,
chicks."
Free bird.
All right.
Somebody had to misinterpret.
It worked well.
Dude, where's the chicks?
All right. But in 1966, Aubrey passed away. And in 1968, 2 years later, Bo, along with Aubrey's heirs, incorporated the business as Pilgrim Industries, Inc. Now, one of the things, Bo, he loved marketing gimmicks, but, they were expanded beyond the point where you can give a chick away for every bag of feed. So, Bo
They gave a half a chick.
would do commercial, like he would be on ads, and he'd always be dressed up in like full traditional pilgrim dress,
Oh, yeah.
and with a pet chicken named Henrietta under his arm, and he was like the signature.
He was
the
like Colonel
spokesman.
Sanders.
Yeah, exactly.
Of chickens that are still alive.
Yeah.
He was the Pilgrim's Pride guys. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because actually they are the main supplier to KFC.
Wow.
Yes, of chickens.
Took a grim turn there.
It
The
did.
Pilgrim got ousted by the colonel or something.
Well, so right. So after
But we're not selling Henrietta.
She's a special chicken.
once
She's a
the
model, dude. What's wrong?
once Bo was running it by himself in advertising, they got more focused on just producing chickens. Okay, so producing chickens, and they're selling them for meat.
Yes.
Okay. So, Pilgrim's Pride. I don't know if have you heard of Pilgrim's Pride, the grocery store?
It sounds good though.
No.
All right.
Who
Well-
do I know? Like if I think of chickens, I think of that one everybody
guess
says
it's-
uses steroids. It's Perdome or
Purdue.
Purdue. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
They had the father.
they're like built like Boilermakers and stuff.
I was like, those guys sort of Purdue Boilermakers. What are you doing? You didn't know that you made that connection?
No, I didn't.
It was totally subconscious.
It's totally subconscious.
I always thought those guys looked like chickens, Purdue.
Yes.
All right, anyway.
I can't believe I just.
He said they look like Boilermakers. The Purdue Boilermakers. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's hot.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the desert right now.
So today, Pilgrim's Pride is a supplier, the main supplier to KFC. Yeah, I think they're more like in the southern grocery stores. So they named like
Kroger's.
Publix is one of their big
Lion.
ones.
Kroger.
Piggly Wiggly,
Oh, I love Piggly Wiggly.
Walmart, and Wendy's. Okay.
Oh, their chicken sandwich.
Oh, yeah, they sell a lot of chicken.
Oh, their spicy chicken
They're
sandwich.
good chicken.
Very
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Today, it is the largest chicken producer in the U.S. Okay, and Puerto Rico, and the second largest chicken producer in Mexico.
Oh my goodness, that's like a lot there. They have chickens running everywhere.
Well,
There are rules for chickens in Mexico.
I will say one thing though. They did get in trouble for. There was some video taken by PETA in one of their plants, and guys were running around throwing the chickens like here long bomb and like
I
kicking
shouldn't
them
laugh
and
at that. Oh, yeah,
this
that's
and that, you know.
We can't have that.
So they wound up.
It's not the same as Pike's Place in Seattle with the fish, right?
I don't know about that one. What is that?
They throw the fish. Like, here's your fish.
Oh,
But the fish are already dead.
they're already dead. That doesn't matter.
No, like they're throwing live
They don't
chickens.
feel anymore.
They're throwing live chickens.
Yeah, live chickens.
Yeah, they should just, I mean, the dignity thing.
Well-
That's why people like Chipotle.
They fired everyone involved with that, and then they tried to get their act together. They also now provide each employee with like months of sensitivity training to the chickens.
Wow.
All right.
So they're serious about not.
I'm afraid to laugh at this because I don't want to get a show.
You don't want to be
Right,
like someone's gonna throw a can of blood on you when you walk out.
No, it's not like, look, I eat chicken. There's people that eat chicken, and I believe that they've sacrificed for us, so they should be, humanely treated, right? Like, and I know that, whatever. That's all I'll say.
Sensitivity training. That's a.
Yeah, yeah.
know.
Yeah, I mean, you got more like training than like most.
Come here, little buddy.
Yeah, like oh, there's a nice little.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. It's got to be
You have to
something
spend the
see.
night with like a bunch of chickens.
Yeah,
on
like you have to hatch an egg and like raise it or something like that. Like you
Yeah,
have to become
Welcome
a
to our
chicken.
chicken team building weekend. What are we gonna play? What are we gonna play?
So
What games would you play with a chicken?
Not football, apparently.
yeah, right. It's not a good one.
Sorry for laughing at that. What
So,
would you play with the chicken?
find the corn.
They're probably bad at like fetch.
I bet. There's some games they play in Mexico with chickens.
Oh yeah, it's
Cockfighting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble for that.
That's even worse than
We're
that.
already in trouble.
Right. So
That's where Gamecocks comes from, right? Which they should
yeah, I
probably
think
change
you're
that.
right. I
They
think
should
you're
probably
right.
change that name.
It's all come full circle.
Well, they're the Gamecocks themselves, so they're like angry and stuff. They're not the guy putting the cock in the ring, right?
I don't know how that game works, but it's open for
I don't know.
misinterpretation.
What is this game, right?
This is weird. Why is he pecking me there?
So, Bo Pilgrim owned like 65% of the company up until 2009, when it was purchased. His share was purchased by a Brazilian group. So it's
Is it the 3G people that are affiliated with Berkshire Hathaway?
no, it
Soda
was a
G?
different. It was a different company.
What's
it was
that
like
company called? 3G or Soda 3 or something.
I forget the name of that company, but the one that runs Heinz, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. It was something different.
That'd probably.
I wish I could tell you exactly, but it's
Probably
a,
something to
I have a
Portuguese.
joke that will probably get me in a lot of trouble right there, but I'm just saying, like, they're good at cutting jobs, so they're probably good at killing chickens.
that's okay. So what they actually did, they cut 160 jobs from the Texas headquarters, and they moved the headquarters to Greeley, Colorado, where it is now.
How did Brazilians get so good at business, or they're just ruthless businessmen?
Well, I mean, it. First of all, you're making a lot of assumptions in that question.
Okay.
All right. If you look at the nation of Brazil, it's having some hard times. I mean, and actually, when you think back on it, it's like one of those countries that has had hard times a lot. They say it's an emerging market. It's always been emerging.
It's never gone
It's
past
never
that.
been there. Still working on it.
Yeah, still emerging.
So, I mean,
It's like the
so
longest
they're-
birth ever.
So that makes sense that they would just have a tenacious attitude to be good businessmen or persons.
I guess I'm not going to make any generalizations
I'll
about
just shut up.
Brazilians.
I'm the uninformed.
I like
part of this
Brazilians,
show.
but
I do love Brazilians.
They're good parties.
You had to go over the board and say love.
Okay.
All right, sorry. All right, so
I do love too early in the relationship.
I love you. You're Brazilian.
I don't even know any Brazilian. Well, I did work for a Brazilian company once.
A Brazilianer?
Well, they left. We sold these little seals that go onto utility meters in San Diego, and they left, and we got audited like the next week. And I was like the national sales manager. I was there a day.
Wow. Okay, so the PE on this one is 12.54. They have no dividend. Okay, so it's a small negative. They had an ROIC of 29%. Quite nice. Net debt to equity, and this is a negative, 132%. I consider that a big negative. That's like twice as much debt.
That's
as
a lot
I
of
would
chickens
accept.
you have to sell.
Now, the earnings are expected to go down 18%, but it's not that big a deal. I mean, they're going from 250 to 205. So if you look at, even if you adjusted it to the future earnings, the PE would still be below the ROIC.
Okay.
All right, but since the debt's high, I think it's like just about the right price where it is right now. It's at $23 a share. You go back to 2014, it was at $16 a share. Market cap is $5.88 billion, which was surprisingly high to me. The reason they have so much debt, well, part of the reason is they had to go through a bankruptcy back in 2011. So, that was
that was
the result of the
scary,
downturn and having too much debt. It
They
is.
still have a lot of
Right,
debt.
they still have a lot of debt.
So they haven't learned their lesson.
It's concerning. But I think the price is about right. It's not like one of these like, ooh, don't buy it. It's not a bad buy, but it's not one that I'm going to buy because the debt's too much.
Plus, I don't trust the bankruptcy. Right?
Yeah. And it was owned by the same Brazilian company, that owns like 74% of it now at that time. So
you're saying yay or nay?
I say nay because they have too much debt. But I don't think it's a bad buy. If you go out and buy it, I wouldn't say, you're going to get destroyed. Probably not.
No.
Probably be fine. But it'll probably perform similar to how the market will perform.
Now, let me ask you this. What about the bird flu for them?
Bird flu for them, wasn't nearly as serious.
You can kill them. You're killing them anyway.
Yeah, right. The bird.
So it only affects the eggs then, like the.
No, it affected poultry for food consumption, but it also. They are not located in like the zones that got nailed by the bird flu.
Okay, so if there's bird flu and they kill a bird, do I get to eat that, or do they just get rid of that bird?
No, they get rid of the
Yeah,
bird.
I think they get rid of it.
Like, what would happen if I eat a bird with bird flu?
I don't think
Would I
there
get people flu?
No. It's not. It's very rarely transmitted. You could get bird flu, but
Yeah.
it's very rare that you could get it.
Because I thought I had mad cow disease one time. Of course, cows are mad. Like you're yanking on my nipples.
It's not a pleasant living.
Well, no, I'm not.
Grass is dry.
But how are they smart enough to like know all that?
The mad cow, you mean?
That life isn't that good. They seem.
I don't know.
I
Kind
think
of-
we my feeling is we overestimate our intelligence and underestimate the intelligence of animals.
Of the cow?
and all of everything. Yes, I mean I think they have the ability to reason. I do. I mean they say
Why don't they do something about it then? Why isn't there a cow revolution?
We keep them in those fences, man. We partition them and we threaten their families with the veal.
It's essentially.
Kill their children, man. I wouldn't fight back. That's some like Stalin shit right there.
Look, dude, I'm black and white in a brown and green world. I don't really have a chance. I wasn't given a fair
It's
shot.
essentially the plot to the book Animal Farm, where they like overthrow the farmer. Okay, so at any rate, unfortunately, I have to say no to this one too. I like the company Cal-Maine a lot better than I like Pilgrim's Pride, and I bet you that I will invest in Cal-Maine again.
In 2018.
Could
Possibly.
be.
Look at it at the end
It's
of
something that
2017.
I have looked at it many times this year, and will look at it many times next year.
Yeah, just
'Cause
to
it's a
see
company that I really like. I like the balance sheet. I like the management. I like it when the CEO is a straight shooter and tells me that egg prices are going to go down in his view.
That's
Even though it's
honest.
not good for his stock,
Yep.
but he's laying it out like it is. Ultimately, that kind of honesty will be good for the stock. And The management is great. So very good company. Just not the right time to buy it because egg prices are going down.
Yeah, just keep an eye on cow main. Unless you guys in listenership want to just eat a whole bunch of eggs.
Yeah, just single-handedly drive the stock there. Just
How many eggs do you think you could eat in a sitting? Like, do you think you could eat a lot of eggs?
Wow, I've never tried that before. That would be kind of gross.
it depends how you cook them. I think scrambled eggs you can burn
You
through
could get a lot
quicker.
there.
Yeah,
Especially you put some
Yes,
cheese in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do
right?
cheese,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
I challenge
hard-boiled?
everybody to eat 8,000 eggs this
What
week.
was it in Cool Hand Luke? He ate like 50 eggs or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was that.
Yeah.
How many does Michael Phelps eat? He eats like a ton of eggs every day. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Supposedly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It worked
He
for
looks
him.
pretty good.
Yeah,
He does.
dude's got something going for
But
him.
let me tell you about cow main stock. It went from 28 in 2014 to 46 now, but last year it was $60.
Wow.
I sold it for 59, so I almost got the top. But Pilgrim's Pride, yeah, it was 16 in 2014 and then up to 23, so not quite as good. All right, so those are the only two we're going to talk about tonight.
This was interesting. This was a great show.
It was a chicken show. And on that note, we are all out of funny money.
Talk to you next week.